Hi everybody, Saiji Dan.
Dan Mouse.
Now, let's get started by teaching you two basic elbows and how we can use them in combinations. Elbow one is the hooking elbow. We're going to throw a hooking elbow, which is simply throwing the hook punch, but we're going to aim to hit with the elbow instead of the punch, so the hand's going to stay in tight and we're going to throw the elbow. This is an even closer. So when I throw it, and I throw this hook punch, okay, when I throw a hook, right, I'm going to throw an elbow and just sink the elbow in here. Okay, so the hand stays in here, and I just throw that elbow, just drive the elbow across, okay? Elbow just drives across. I turn my body like I'm throwing a hook punch. And so all we're doing is now, instead of throwing a hook from here, we're throwing an elbow from right here. And I'm going to turn and drive the elbow and turn my body and try to sink the elbow into the pad. Like that, okay? That's what we need to learn first. First, you put your left foot forward or right foot forward, and you put the hand up, and you use your lead elbow for this to start with, and you throw your lead elbow. All right? Put the other one up. Lead elbow. See, I'm stepping in and turning. Bring my hands back. Okay? Turn at a slight angle for me. And, all right? And you want to take and learn and practice that elbow until you get the elbow down. What you want to be able to do is throw a good hooking elbow 10 times each side, 20 times each side. You want to work with your partner. You'll find, put that one up for me, you'll find that as you start to do this, if you turn it all the way in, it's not going to be a solid feeling, so you're going to turn it at a slight angle. And that will help throw that elbow a little better. And now I'm not slicing across with my elbow. I'm not trying to slice across. I'm trying to punch in with the elbow. Just like I punch with a hook, I'm trying to punch in with the elbow. I'm not trying to come across it, okay? I'm trying to go into it and through it. And come back, okay? So come across it and go through the target zone. Don't come across the target zone. Go through the target zone, okay? That's the hooking elbow. And I want you guys just to work that. It's very simple. It is a hook punch, but you're just keeping it and you're using the elbow as your weapon. So it's a little closer than a hook, and it's very, very, very devastating attack. So in Lewe, these are completely legal techniques in our sport fighting. And this is just a hooking elbow. It's one of the more popular ones we do. And there are a lot of different elbows, but for the sake of adding them into our combos while we're training, I only really want to work two today. And I want you to learn the hooking elbow, and then I want you to learn the second elbow we're going to throw is we're going to go ahead and just throw the uppercutting elbow, okay? We're going to throw an uppercut elbow. So he's going to hold it here at a slight angle out, and the uppercutting elbow would happen if you got in real close with somebody and you're grappling, and what we did before in the last belt, where we're in here and we're into our clutch, and we're into our clinch, and we're into our grappling, and we're starting to move each other around. My hand can be on him, and then I can uppercut with that elbow, and I can punch up. I can also get in tight if I'm with somebody, and I can just punch up with my elbow like this, okay? So that's in that chin, and I get down, I can just punch in like that, okay? And we throw that uppercut, okay? And that's what I'm doing. I'm real tight, I'm stepping in, and I'm driving the elbow up, right in under the chin here on this little shelf right here. Or if I get him bent over, just throw it right into his face. If he bends down, drive it right up here. Okay, right into the face. And you notice while I'm doing this one, I'm actually throwing it from my backhand. That's the nice thing about uppercuts, is it can happen to either one. But it's actually a really strong backhand elbow. So what we're going to work on with our uppercuts today, and what we're going to work on with our hook, is we're going to try to incorporate the hooking elbow from the front leg and the uppercutting elbow from the back leg. So let's work this uppercutting elbow just a little bit. Put that up for me. And I'm going to throw this uppercutting elbow a couple times. I'm going to put my hand here because it's in real close. Okay? And I'm going to stand here and I'm going to pivot, turn my body, thrusting with the hips, turning in, driving this elbow up. And I'm just going to be right here, real close. And I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And that's what you do. Just keep going like that. Work it 10 times, work it 20 times, then you switch your feet, put the other one up, And you do that other one. 1, 2. Now don't do this. 3. Am I hitting him? Look what you're doing. Keep your eyes on 4, 5. Okay? And work that. Be careful about taking your elbow. I just felt myself starting to do it a little bit. Make sure you don't pull back and uppercut. Make sure you just pop it up there. Okay? Drive that elbow up just like an uppercut. So how are we going to add these into our combos? Once you practice these and you can throw these elbows good, how are we going to add them into our combos? Well, I like to work with the Thai pads when we're doing this, but you can do it with focus mitts too. It's a little tighter. We'll show you at the end of this video what you can do it with focus mitts. But with the Thai pads, he can hold those up. And as my helper here, he can do 1, 2, 3. Okay? Our basic combo we've been working on with the 1, 2, 3, which is the jab, cross, hook. I can go jab, cross, hook, right? I'm throwing that jab, cross, hook, jab, cross, hook, right? And he can hold these up and he can use them just like focus mitts for me. If he wants me to start working with my elbows and I want to start working with my elbows, it's the exact same thing. I have to get a little closer. Jab, cross, hook. So I'm going to step in and throw with that elbow. Jab, cross, hook, and come back. Okay? And you see how I step into the hook, put the hook out there again? Instead of doing this, I'm going to step in and come back. Okay? And make sure, as you work these, try not to close in on the guy. Just try to put him into a position at a slight angle where they can feed back in. But remember, don't feed them. Don't take that and hit my elbow when I'm hitting you so that I think I'm doing a great job when I'm not. Okay? Put them up. And that's how we're going to introduce the elbows. Right off the 1, 2. Anytime you get a new technique in a combo, you should start by doing it off the 1 or the 2. Okay? So, because I'm throwing currently with my left hand, I would be doing it off of the 2. And since I'm doing it off the 2, I might as well throw the 1, 2. Because I should keep working that 1, 2. So I'm going to throw the 1, 2, and then I'm going to throw that elbow. Okay? Turn it out at a slight angle for me, Side Miles. Good. Just at a slight angle that way, pointing away so I can sink the elbow in. There you go. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, but this time the 3 is the elbow. Let's go down to half speed. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Hold it nice and high. I'm trying to hit his head. 1, 2, 3. And you see how I just give feedback to my partner every time. You're going to do the same thing. And then, as I get better, my partner can start giving me feedback. Give me some feedback this time. 1, 2, 3.
Kind of raised off a little bit. Kind of went off the side. Try to sink right in the thunder.
All right. Sink it in.
1, 2, 3. Let's make that 1 count. And bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Recover, right? So, make sure I don't circle off.
Pretty good. I'd like to see a little bit more sinking in with the 1. I feel like the 1 isn't as good as it can be.
All right, put in the 1, put in the 1. All right, I got it. Let's go. Ready?
Nice, that was a good one. More like that.
And the feedback will just make you better and better and better. You see I'm kind of hopping in with that? That's a habit of mine. I'm what some people call an explosive movement puncher, which means I get really tired really fast. But I like to hop into that punch and really explode into it. Some people are a little more, you want to call them refined or you want to call them conservative? I don't know. Some people like to go 1, 2, and you step in, and I like to, right? And that way, you only win by knocking out your opponent, which changes the way you think about fighting. You don't win if we're both standing at the end of the fight. It's a tie. So we tend to be a little more explosive. We tend to commit a little more to the knockout blow. It's a little different, okay? And remember that when we're working combos and stuff in this sport, we're developing and deriving everything within a rule set. And since the rule set says go for the knockout, I tend to explode in and go for the knockout. Everybody's different. Okay, so that's how we're going to add in that hook. When we add in the uppercut to our combos, put those things up for the 1, 2. Now, for this one, I'm probably just going to go right off the 1 because I'm going to be throwing from my backhand. So I'm going to throw the 1, and then he's going to drop it down. He'll drop this one down so that I can throw my uppercut. Okay? So I'm going to go 1, uppercut. 1, uppercut. Okay? You see how it just flows in? You're not moving huge amounts of motion. Your body's doing all the power, and you're just punching the uppercut in. You're not hooking and slicing. You're punching in with that uppercut. Okay? So I punch in with the jab. I'm going to punch in with the uppercut. Okay? So if you get close, you throw a jab, somebody closes on you, and you can't throw another punch, yes you can. You can throw the elbow. So if I throw this, okay? Okay? And then again, at that point, we start giving each other feedback. I start saying, can you hold it a little higher? He starts saying, can you please hit in the middle? And we work together until eventually we've got this really good routine going down. Don't do this. Set it up for the one with the uppercutting. Don't do this. What am I doing here? I'm not done. Get your hands up, right? Don't do this. What are you doing up here? Right? That's not a punch, that's a slice. Punch in. I grazed off. If you start rubbing your elbow roll, you're grazing. You got to be punching in, punching in.
That's enough for the person holding the mitts too. Got to feel for that. If they're scraping up, got to sink it in more.
Okay? And so this is what we're doing. You are going to adapt your hook punch and your uppercut into an elbow. You're going to adapt the way you hold your bags just a little bit so that we can sink it in. Side Miles, drop those please. Now, what if you just got your focus mitts? No change. No change. I have to do a little better now because I'm holding the focus mitts and these are smaller. So go, put your foot forward. You're going to do the 1, 2, and the elbow, and go slow. Just go through. 1, 2, 3, and I got to put it here. So in a hook, I'll turn here, but for the elbow, I'm going to leave it up. So it's actually going to do this. 1, 2, turn it in. That is not feeding, that's putting a surface to punch in with that hook. Punch that hook. Go ahead. There it is. Do it again. There it is. One more time. There we go. So now he can do the 1, 2 hook. Good. Again. Good. One more. Good. And you'll see, if you're doing this, how much harder it is. You're going to start, in the beginning, you're going to start trying to chase the elbow. Don't do that. In the beginning, go slow motion. In the beginning, you're going to do this. 1, 2. Where's his elbow? Don't do that. In the beginning, here's the face. 1, 2. You hit it, pal. That's the bad guy. Don't try to touch his elbow. Just 1, 2 elbow. Okay? That's the face. It's up to him to hit it. There you go. See? And then I can start feeling it. And I can say, oh, maybe you're hitting a little bit with your forearm. Or, oh, you're scraping off just a tiny bit. And I'll start giving him feedback. Okay? With the uppercut, go slow motion 1. And then I just put it right here. I'm going to do this with it. I'm going to like almost hold it under my chin like this. And I can just do this. And then he'll eat, well, I'll eat it. He'll feed it. Right? Like we talked about feeding the elbow in the last belt. Right? Throw it in. There you go. And recover. And back. And so if I see he's getting lazy with it, I'll go, get back, right? And then that's how we get into all this stuff. Go for it. Yeah, and come back. There you go. Good. That was my fault, right? So he has to say, hey, hold that focus mitt right. Nice. Try not to hook it. Try to come straight up. There you go. And those are the kind of feedback you give to each other until finally you've got 2 good elbows that you can wrap up and put into your combos. Once you can go off the 1, once you can go off the 2, you can start going off of the others. See if you can throw a hook and an elbow. Or see if you can throw a hook and an uppercutting elbow. Or see if you can throw an uppercut and an elbow. And start putting them into your combos. Start adding those 2 elbows into your combos.